Truth Seeker here. This video is sponsored to you by my tip jar. The only thing keeping this channel afloat right now, so if you'd like to be able to tip me a buck or two, please just click the link in the description below. And thank you to everybody supporting. Hopefully I will be monetized soon. My application is pending, so please just keep your fingers crossed for me and wish me luck. But moving on to the story, Mark Ironwood was charged with burglary, damage to property, and possession of weapons and explosives. Ironwood had plans to sell the explosives to associates to bomb law enforcement. He's also facing charges of burglary, intentional damage of property, and possession of controlled weapons and explosives. Law enforcement says he is also associated with the group Antifa. At Wednesday morning's police briefing in Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County, Sheriff's Captain Jason Gearman talked about Ironwood's views towards the law enforcement. There's a history, but it's not indicative of this type of extreme activity with this total disdain and hatred towards government and law enforcement and fire, Gearman said. Gearman didn't go into specifics, but did talk about Antifa. The association with Antifa really concerns us, Gearman stated. They don't have a list of people on their website, obviously, but we did find evidence that he associated himself with that. Antifa protesters were in Portland, Oregon 2.5 weeks ago, where they clashed with right-wing activists called Patriot Prayer. They were also at the white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017.
This evening, we are learning more about the man at the center of a potentially explosive situation and a neighborhood evacuation on the east side of Sioux Falls.
This was the scene just 24 hours ago at 18th and Blaine as authorities recovered guns and explosives from an apartment. Now, the man arrested is accused of other crimes in Minnehaha County. KELOLAND's Dan Santella was in the courtroom as the suspect made an appearance. Dan?
Well, 43-year-old Mark Ironwold faces charges of burglary, intentional damage to property, and possession of a controlled weapon and explosives. The judge set his bond at $200,000. Now we're learning from law enforcement just how bad the situation could have been.
The Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office says investigators found a lot of explosives here last night.
The amount of explosive materials and what was there is significant and concerning.
We got lucky that something bad didn't happen and we weren't on the back end of this. We got on the front end of it.
That has a lot of neighbors talking. Jody Cowman, who lives in the apartment above Ironwold, says she doesn't really know anything about him.
Not really. We'd only talked to him a few times, just passing by, you know. We just formally met like last week, I think. He was super nice.
Okay.
Apparently not.
She's surprised by the news.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't come off as the type, but it's always the people you least suspect, right?
Milstead says a big tragedy might have been averted.
I think it was an example of how law enforcement can suddenly come across something totally unexpected and face a danger you never expected. This was a fairly simple warrant service, search warrant execution on a residence in Sioux Falls, and suddenly turned into, it could have been a really, really bad situation.
Ironwold is believed to be involved in several burglaries in T and Del Rapids, including at this pizza ranch break-in earlier this month. Sheriff Milstead says they're looking for additional information on the suspect, and you can send in tips to Crime Stoppers.
All right, thanks, Dan.
These people are super brainwashed, and the stuff that they hear on TV and music and everything else all just pretty much tells them to do these kind of things. They want them to act out. They want the people to incite violence. That's why Maxine Waters is calling for an uprising. That's why Pelosi was calling for an uprising. That's why these people are doing this to begin with, because they know the sheeple will listen and they will follow their orders. It's scary to think that this guy is actually sitting here with a whole bunch of explosives and stuff when you got people like Madonna talking about wanting to blow up the White House. I mean, come on. This is 100% brainwashed monkey see, monkey do, MK Ultra kind of tactics, all with the bitter help of Project Mockingbird to design this army of sheeple to try to take out our President of the United States and anybody that supports him. And it's just totally disgusting how people actually do this. I mean, how brainwashed can you be to not see beyond all this crap and actually look for the truth? It's almost as if these people live in some kind of a video game world or something, like they don't know what reality is anymore. But I'm glad this is another one down. And hopefully more to come, because this is pretty scary that people like this are even around. And hopefully this sets a good example to that new unmasking Antifa bill, and they might be able to catch him up on previous stuff that he's done and hit him with that 15-year charge. Maybe. You never know. But what do you guys think about all this? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
A few years ago, ideas that we talked about were thought to be fringe ideas, radical ideas, extremist ideas. Those ideas are now mainstream.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless c***.
What's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women?
One way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and comment below, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace!
And don't forget to click the notification bell.